Welcome back to Pallets to Pints. I'm joined today by Chandler Marston, who is Strategic Operations Manager here at Gulf Distributing, and Ashton Pond, who is the Operations Manager here in Mobile, although I know you branch out and kind of help the other functions of the operations in the other locations. So today we're going to have a fantastic conversation, but before we get into it, let's grab these high lives.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to a fun conversation.
Cheers.
So Chandler, I'll start with you. Why don't you give us a little bit of your journey? Take us down the journey of what brought you to Gulf Distributing today. Give us a little bit of background about what you were doing before Gulf and what you think about your role today.
So I actually started out in a completely different industry. I started out in the medical field. So I was working in emergency medicine, both in city and rural areas and for the Alabama Department of Forensics. I had a little boy, and the working hours in emergency medicine really didn't work out well for being there for him and home for holidays and all of those things. And so I actually took a leap and moved over to the beverage industry and have never looked back. I started out in the craft sector of our business and our craft sales, working on and off premise. Through there, I was a part of our lager program and had the opportunity to learn total company about our operation. I went into the operations sector and have really loved my time in operations. It's definitely more of a hobby than a job, in my opinion. So that's my 8 years here so far, wrapped up short and sweet.
And what are you responsible for?
I'm in charge of strategic operations for all of our warehouses. So I focus on our operations and our efficiencies and try to come to the table with some exciting solutions to make us better every day.
Awesome. Ashton, what about you?
Before golf, I was working out in Colorado for Moe's Barbecue, and my wife and I got engaged, and it was time to move back home. So we came back home and did some interviews with some companies around town, and got on with Gulf Distributing as the on-premise rep for downtown Mobile to start off. I did my journey through the sales world, did on-premise, off-premise, worked with Chandler a lot in the craft world. Then I jumped over to the craft side of things, did the chain side, and then got the opportunity to jump over to the operation manager's role over here in Mobile.
So if I hear correctly, you both started in sales.
Yep.
And now are both on the operations side. What was the secret sauce, or what is the secret sauce that makes you two work so effectively together?
Eight years of selling beer together. I mean, Chandler and I have worked together from everything from bars and restaurants to C-stores and craft stores, and building a new warehouse and racking and everything across the board. So 8 years together of doing this has kind of made us a really good team.
What doesn't work? Anything? No.
I think that, we had the opportunity to work together and find solutions together from the beginning. I mean, starting off in craft and on premise, we had the opportunity to kind of tag team the downtown accounts, and instead of just focusing on, this is your world over here, this is my world in craft, we started off just working together to achieve a goal. And I think that was really the basis of what started our working relationship, and what has made us successful today.
Yeah, I know a lot of people in the industry who sort of stay siloed in like one function of the industry. Like they will spend 40 years in sales. I think a unique gift is people who actually move across functions. And so why does having a sales background between both of you help you be more effective when it comes to operations? I'll start with you, Chandler.
It is so important because it makes this big circle, right? And so having the opportunity to see all of the hard work in the warehouse and see it all come to fruition and hit the shelves is a beautiful thing. But even past that, we do this. We're a family-owned business. We support our local community, and to be able to talk to those retailers, to talk to our mom and pops and be there and help them become successful as partners is just it really puts things into perspective as far as the why goes. So I would say that being in sales really broaden our horizons as far as why operations needs to be successful and who we're doing this for, our internal family and our external family.
Yeah, yeah, and Ashton, on the day to day here in Mobile, there is that element of, there's sales, there's operations. Ultimately, sales is a customer of operations, not just the retail customers, right? To some degree, or
Yeah,
right?
we work together. We're
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It,
But
it doesn't help anybody for me to only worry about this segment if that segment is not able to be successful because we're siloed off over here. So if I can work together cross-functionally with our sales team, with our purchasing, with everything that we have, we're only going to be better. Our best employees have come through the Loggerhead program that we have, and some of us have forced our way through similar programs by jumping to other segments within their job, right? And we've talked about a full circle moment. I have written orders, gone into the warehouse, pulled the order, loaded the order, gotten on a truck and delivered that same order. And there's not a lot of people who are really able to put that full circle picture together and make decisions, whether you're in the market or you're in the warehouse or you're on a truck, that benefit the company as a whole, right? And
yeah,
those people are few and far between, and they're the most successful people in this industry.
yeah, like having a strong understanding of how any action over here can impact any outcome over here, right?
100%.
Across functionally and all those kinds of things. Can you, just out of curiosity, can you elaborate on the Loggerhead program a little bit?
So it's a leadership and development program. So you have the opportunity to get exposure to um the different sections of our business, right? So you get the opportunity to merchandise, to pick in the warehouse, to verify, to work with delivery teams. So you get to have a firsthand experience of what those jobs entail. And again, that's very important because someone can tell you about their job all day long, but until you step into their shoes and you actually put your feet into the pavement and you do that heavy lifting, you can't really get a full idea of what that person is going through. So it's just an opportunity to be able to, you know, get that full perspective.
Yeah.
It's a long form training, cross-functional training program that we've put together.
And that's a cultural investment that the organization makes within its people, and people that stand out and shine and want to learn and grow and grasp onto those things.
100%.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we're in this beautiful brand new facility that y'all have been in for not even a handful of months. What forced both of you collaboratively working together to rethink how you approach things as you entered this new facility?
Oh, we're in a state-of-the-art facility, and everything was up for grabs. All right, we had the opportunity to rethink every function of our business across the board from an operational standpoint, and we took the opportunity to look at everything that we do from top to bottom. Whether you're talking pick path, verification, loading, everything that we do, we took a good hard look at it and made sure that we were making the right decisions across the board.
And Chandler, did you see, if you're looking at the data or looking at metrics, KPIs, were you seeing things that stood out? Like, when we make this move, we should address this so that we enter this new facility in the right way.
100%. So, I mean, we had a lot of opportunities just based on space alone. And so this was the opportunity to get it right out of the bat. And it took work. It took a lot of work, a lot of very early mornings and late nights all in one, right? So we were able to see where we had our shortfalls and where we could improve. And we had nothing but space and, the backing of the family to be able to do that. So we hit the ground running and put the time in. And it's something that we're very proud of.
So there's no doubt there were a lot of moving parts and a lot of change that happened when you transition from an operation where you're busting at the seams, you have some space here, you have a really unique, incredible operation here. What was something that you refused to change in the transition?
We weren't going to stop business anywhere. So operating business in two different places at one time was a fun challenge to overcome. But there was no downtime between either one of them. We weren't going to close down business for any time to make it happen.
It was a transition of overtime, right? But then it was like Friday to Monday, we're going out of a new building.
That's about how it worked.
Yeah. No, that's cool. What about you, Chandler? Was there anything you were seeing where you're just like, this is something that works? Or was there a cultural thing, or, when it comes to operations?
Yeah, I would say that just really our teams really leaned on each other to, we all had to be there for each other. We were working some long days. We had a lot of things to make happen. We had a lot of things to figure out day one. brand new pick path, brand new layout, brand new warehouse. That's, it's completely different structure in it, right? And so one thing that we weren't going to do is we weren't going to leave anyone behind. So we worked with our teams one-on-one. I know Ashton did a lot of one-on-one to figure out the best way to stage and kind of handhold to make that transition, flow seamlessly. And it took each and every person kind of holding hands and getting through it together until we found that comfortable space, because it was uncomfortable at first because it was so new, but we did what we do.
Yeah.
And we worked together.
The beautiful thing about having those one-on-one times is that, and those opportunities to give your management staff and everybody else the opportunity to put their input in there, is our teams came up with ideas that none of us had even thought about. And turns out some of them are the best things that we're doing down on the floor right now. So it's good to have that opportunity to bring your team in and help make decisions. So there's some ownership in there, whether or not we're coming up with it or they're coming up with it, whatever it may be. As a team, we're succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned on the floor. How do the realities of what's happening on the floor at every moment of every day, how does that drive the decision-making process when you start to think about technology solutions?
You have to be on the floor, first and foremost. You have to be down there, you have to be on the floor, and you have to actually physically touch and see what's going on. And once you do that, then you have the opportunity to back up and think about it and look at things from a 30,000-foot view, right? My pain point that I see from a 30,000-foot view or behind a computer screen might not be the same thing that happens on the warehouse floor. So it takes being present in both places in order to get the opportunity to even sit at the table with a problem and come up with a solution. That's kind of the biggest part that I've seen, is it takes being there for both of them.
And Chandler, what about you? How did you have an impact on the realities that are on the floor, and when you guys are looking at technology and looking at ROI, whatever that looks like, how do you play a role in that impact?
Well, everything looks great on paper, right? And so I think it took a lot of doing our due diligence. It's not just saying, oh, these words look pretty, let's just go with this, or this seems like a good solution, and not vetting it. So I think the amount of work that we put in on the back end to vet those solutions before we go and jump in with both feet, I think that was a key contributor uh, in preparing people, letting people know what's coming, being like having that good communication. It helps with change management. It helps with growing our team instead of just springing something on them and saying, "Oh, this is what's going to happen." And then lastly, just being a good active listener and putting your hands on everything. I mean, to Ashton's point, you can't just say, "No, this is how it's going to work. No, go do it." You have to actually put your feet on the ground and go for it.
Let's zoom out a little bit towards sort of multi-location enterprise piece, a little bit more directed at you, Chandler. How do you drive consistency in what you implement, whether that's technology or any type of structure or process, but also maintain some level of flexibility? Because even within your organization, every operation behaves a little bit differently. So how do you tackle that and overcome that?
I think at the end of the day, we're all doing the exact same thing, right? We're bringing the boxes in and sending the boxes out. I mean, it's pretty simplistic if you want to look high enough. So that's the goal, right? And to do it as easy as possible in a way that's good for our people and our company. There are some nuanced things. We might not have an aisle that's in the same location as another, or even the structure of the pick path may be a little bit different. But being observant of those things and getting that quality feedback from the teams at our other locations is very important. It's very important to be as streamlined as possible so that way we can actually see what that good ROI is or make those changes that are necessary if something's just not working out. But knowing that we've got the wiggle room and we can trust our leadership team to help make those good decisions at each location goes a very long way.
And Ashton, I know you're focused here, headquarters here in Mobile, but you wear many hats as well, right? And you branch out and you help some of the other locations. And so how do you manage that? And how do you overcome when you see something that's just done a little bit differently? Maybe it's not right, maybe it's better.
Yeah.
How do you approach that?
Somebody may have a better solution than we have across the board, right? My policy and procedure may work better than theirs. Their policy and procedure may work better than ours, and we try to not go into things with blinders on and say, no, we're right and you're wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right. But the biggest thing in my mind is a couple of years ago we went through a little bit of a restructure of positions and responsibilities, and we did that the same across the board, right? So the ops manager role became a thing. A couple of positions got added in there, and those responsibilities became the same. Whereas the policy and procedure on the warehouse floor may be a little bit different. The leadership and the management staff within there all have the same responsibilities. We're all looking at the same things. So we're all making decisions within our warehouse or within our delivery or within our operations department, all going to the same, marching to the beat of the same drum, right? So I might not have the same pick path like she was saying, or might not have the same exact policy and procedure for whatever we would be talking about at that time. But I'm trying to get to the same finish line that the other ops manager in Florida is, and in Montgomery and Birmingham and Huntsville. We're all trying to get to the same place, and we all have a network to call on and lean on each other. So
When you look at potential like different technologies you've invested or maybe you're implementing across multiple sites, and you've done 2 out of 4 or 5, right? When you look at socializing that across the network, or you're going to go implement at at one of your other facilities, what's your approach or thought process to that in terms of what you learn here and how you take that to those other places?
good, bad, and ugly. I'll let them know everything. I'll let them know everything I got. We're an open book, right? Again, kind of back to not having silos and not having I'm sales, you're operation. It's not I'm Mobile and you're Milton. We're all one. We're part of the Gulf family, and if I got a thing that's going to help you be better, I'm going to bring it right to you. If I got something you should avoid, I'm going to let you know about it as well.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
When operations and technology are truly aligned, what improves first?
Everyone's attitude. What doesn't improve, right? I mean, a bad day is whenever tech isn't working well in your operations department. I think, and that's across the board, right? I think that we've invested in this technology to become more efficient and to be better. And whenever it's in line with that vision, it's really a beautiful thing. I mean, it's there to make all of our lives easier and to help all of our teams. So I would say it being in line is absolutely not a problem. That's what our goal is, right?
Yeah, I agree. It makes everything run smoother right off the bat. As long as you do the front end work, you do the research, you do the change management training and the pieces on the front end that help everybody understand why you're doing this, all of a sudden it clicks and away we go.
When other organizations are looking at investing in bringing technology into their operations to drive efficiencies, what separates those from who will be successful versus those who will not?
The closed-minded folks will not. If you have to be open to everything that's out there, right? Whether you have the right idea or somebody else does, you have to be able to come to the table humble and understand that you might not be right in what you think is happening. Technology looks different in every aspect of this industry, right? And you may think right off the bat, this doesn't make sense. I don't like how this goes. And as you kind of get into it, you realize very quickly this is here to help you. So the folks who are not going to be successful as technology continues to take over our industry are the folks who are set in their old ways and are not going to be able to adapt and not open to that conversation.
Change is scary,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make it wrong. And I will say that it takes time. There's not a solution out there that I've seen that's been a day one fix for all of your problems. I mean, there's no one's pulled that rabbit out of the hat yet, but sticking with it and staying future focused is really the key. And there's a reason why people across the country are utilizing technology in their warehouses in the beverage industry. And if you're not on board, then you're falling behind.
I know I appreciate and spending time and working with y'all is that flexibility. It's never perfect day one, right? I mean, and we're constantly working through solving challenges and connecting more wires that provide a deeper level of data. And then how do you consume that data and bring it to life and then put action to it, right? And I know ultimately with the tech stack that you all have, that's the ultimate goal. Like, how do we take all this and simplify it into like easily consumable information and then deliver actions against that? So
if it was perfect day one, none of us would have a job.
yeah. It'd be too easy.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same way as our move. It's the same way with everything that we've done. It's collaborative work to get us where we all want to be, and to continuously improve. I mean, even if something works well day one, it might not work in the most efficient way possible. And that's the goal, is to be able to cultivate that type of teamwork to be able to get there.
Well, I really appreciate the collaboration in this conversation, to steal that word right from you. It's been a great time spending time here with you guys. Great conversation. Always appreciate the insight. We have a lot of work to do. We're excited to tackle those challenges and do everything we can to support you. We appreciate, you all pulling back the curtain a little bit, providing some insight and some advice to others.
Absolutely.
And, really enjoyed the conversation today. Big old cheers.
Thank you, sir.
The old champagne and
Thank you.
beers.
Absolutely.
We look forward to seeing you next time. This has been Pallets to Pints.